God, the rate that I'm gonna ever be able to actually make these streams, this series is gonna be going on for like an entire year. But now that work's calmed down, we're finally back. And on an unrelated note, I actually fixed the fact that the top and bottom were slightly cut off in the entire last episode because no one told me. And I can't see the stream's perspective, only my own perspective. And from my perspective, I didn't see anything wrong. Hopefully, things should be fine now. Where did we leave off? It was like a few days ago. We're almost out of MP, but other than that, we're looking good. What are my personas? Okay. You know what? Good job, me. I really do want Tarunda. Tarunda is very important. Getting a Dia skill card would be nice, but it's not mandatory. Okay, good. Good job, team. This is not even a speed run. You know what's going on for us. You saw the last episode. We're in Tartarus. We're going through a fucking dungeon. Nothing's happening. You were there. What did you not watch the last fucking VOD that tells you all the lore? Apparently we're fighting a boss. Never mind, I lied. It's boss time. Never mind, we already... Oh, I remember what happened. That's right, we had Twitch itself started shitting the bed and we had to end the last stream. And so I got to the next floor, I saw that everything was broken. And then I fought the Reaper and died. It was a good episode. So now we get to redo one floor. Okay, good, great, thanks. I'm sorry, I can't read whatever inane bullshit you're saying. I need to stab this shadow man with a sword until he dies.
Two enemies.
Game is loud as piss. But if I know if I'll turn it down, the YouTube display thing will do. What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be my music or is it gonna be simple flips? Let's find out. It was simple flips. This game was too loud and I had to turn it down. Thank you, YouTube autoplay audio display thing that won't go away and I don't know how to turn off. It's great. Yeah, death is the theme. It's okay. Don't even get me started on the fact that... Oh, no. Okay. Oh, shit. You No, come back! No!
Are you alright? Don't push yourself. I feel a little tired.
Man, I feel spent.
Anyway, that's not important.
Two enemies detected.
Well, you're gonna learn, Force. And of course, because I'm a sadistic bastard, you will forcibly learn about them because I like to continue my original theme of I'm just gonna let the chat decide whoever the hell we decide to hang out with. So whoever you want to learn the more the fuck about, there you go. Also, because it's only like, oh yeah, fucking XCOM, god damn it. You gonna learn today, boy. But hey, this is at least from the seat of a viewer. You're not in the fucking pilot seat with the co-pilot reaching over your own controls and starting to dick around with the fucking throttle. But, nah. I was gonna let the chat decide what social links we decide to link up because I find that entertaining and it gives me something to play with. And then I'm also gonna let chat decide what team I use because that also seems fun. And the fact that this is only gonna come out at most once a week unless another one of my days clears up. People are gonna have a chance to watch the VOD, so they literally won't miss anything. They have a full week to go through what, okay, it'll be 3 or 4 hours, but everyone's elements. Junpei is more physical, but he's fire. Yukari is a healer, but she's wind, and I'm everything and perfect. But right now, his default element is fire, and I think that's all we have other than... What? What do you mean attire? What? I got Repatra. Lady is wind. Big sword man that not me fire. Me everything. Duh. Bitch with bow is wind. That's the mechanics you've learned. Congratulations. Fuck. Why are these so common? And he's gone. Oh, it's one of these floors. Oh, fuck. It's one of these floors. Okay, I understand why there's been so many. Okay. I need to be more on point about this then. We're gonna see a fun fucking surprise by the end of this. Or not, I guess. I guess it's not one of those floors. I am just the luckiest I think I've ever been in this playthrough to have so many of those spawn thus rapidly. Yeah, we're just turning on auto battle because, fuck it, they're weak enemies and they're not a threat. So we're just gonna kill them as fast as we possibly can to get it over with. Still need to do the fights. No surprise attack perks. I don't even know what you mean by that, and I've played all of the Persona games, so please enlighten me. This is an all-out attack. It has the comedic cloud ambush. Oh yeah, that was a weird mechanic in Persona 5. No, ambushes don't exist in this game. They were introduced in 5, I believe, which, frankly, kind of a dumb mechanic, but at least that game is so hilariously easy it doesn't matter. They can just implement kind of an unfair system and just not have to give a shit. This game actually is hard, so, you know, they don't have that mechanic. I know I'm saying the game is hard when I'm currently just mashing the just hit the enemies button, but trust me, bosses in this game are kind of ridiculous. Hey man, I don't have a boner for difficulty. We're just playing on normal. I do mean that more so as a point against Persona 5 though. Persona 5, like, I don't have a problem with the game being too easy. And I don't like it when games are too hard, but I like a little bit of fight in my games. I like games that are a little bit hard, not like the soul-crushing difficulty lunatic mode. I'm not that guy. I typically play in the normal to hard range. I'm a moderate difficulty man. And Persona 5 is really, really fucking easy. Persona games as a whole are pretty damn easy. But at least this one's the hardest of them all. I'm not saying Persona 5 isn't a good game, I'm saying it's too easy. Crank that bitch up to the max difficulty and start crying because it starts breaking the fuck apart.
Take the enemy down.
Not bad, huh?
Now that's just playing it wrong. Oh, we got a beetle.
One enemy detected.
You guys want to fight the grave beetle? Oh shit, he actually can take a hit. Here, let me try this. There he goes. Hey, you want to see a fun mechanic that's not in Persona 5? I chose not to do an all-out attack so I can use Garu again. And now he's stunned, or he's dizzy. Now he can't attack next turn. I mean, he's dead anyway, but you can actively go out of your way to not do an all-out attack and do less damage, but you can stun an enemy so they don't get their next turn. You know, there's some depth to gameplay right there. Except for some bosses, namely most of the late game ones, because of course, status ailments and bosses in these games, of course. But it's still an interesting mechanic. And then again, I don't even know how a game would balance being able to status ailment bosses unless the status ailments are just fucking useless. You want to talk about Disgaea, where poison in that game does 1/4 of your max HP over 3, like, every turn? So, if you just poison a dude and wait 4 turns, you win the fucking game? Yeah. No, we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about how in Lisa, despite the fact that game is actually pretty hard, stun mechanics become the de facto meta for 90% of it? Nah. This is actually no, like I know I use it as an example, but there is a counterpoint because I'm a fair man. If an enemy dies to poison, you don't get any XP because no one got the kill. So you just poison them for 3 turns, and you just kill them afterwards. You know, like you just wait a turn. Yeah. Well, what about it? Next floor is the boss. Oh, hey, there it is. But I want loot, so I also want the XP. And yet, Disgaea also doesn't let you poison bosses because that's bullshit. You know what? Because I think everyone here can... Like, this isn't even a spoiler for Persona 5, because the Reaper is in every single Persona game. And all the games... well, except for 1 and 2, because they're different. But the Reaper is in all of the Persona games, that dude who killed me at the end of the last episode. And so how he works in all the games typically is different. But in this game, he's a punishment for either... fucking up on the card rotation, staying on a bonus floor for too long, or staying on a regular floor for way too long. Like, it takes a long time for that fucker to spawn on any normal floor. Like, it is minutes of just idling. But the main point about that is the fact that because he's in every game, in Persona 5, he can actually have a... I don't remember the specifics for him spawning in Persona 5, but I know they're in mementos. But one thing you can do for the fucking Reaper, which don't tell Ninja, because he's doing his blind playthrough of the game, which I don't know if they actually patched this out for the Royal. There is a mechanic in the game that makes it so all the enemies you encounter have a certain status ailment, or some such, depending on the weather at the time. Well, I don't remember the specific weather, but I think it's flu season. If you go into Tartarus during, like, one of the 4 times in the game that a certain weather comes up, it can make an enemy become distressed, which will make an enemy, like, be defeated after 3 turns or run away. And if you enter Tartarus when that status ailment is being auto-afflicted to all enemies, you can do that to the Reaper and just kind of insta-kill him after 3 turns because he won't attack for the first 2 turns either. Which is the funniest way I think I've ever seen to beat the Reaper in these games. Dude, Persona 5, though, I guess I can actually talk about them because they're a little bit, they're a little unconnected to this. Persona 5 has like a billion ways of making infinite money in that game. Did you wait? You already know what? We forgot the flu. But I will say a minor spoiler for when you get the twins social link maxed out. But when you get the twin social link maxed out, oh fuck, I'm not paying attention. Well yeah, you know, but tell YouTube. The minor spoiler for when the twin social link gets maxed out. But when you get it maxed out, you gain the ability to fuse any persona, I think it was. I'm forgetting the specifics. Even if they're like above your level, at the cost of money. So if you have enough money, you can just break the game, you know. Well, a spoiler's over. Well, there is a way of getting infinite money in the game. One of them is the more tedious and slow burn kind of version, which is what I did. Oh, fucking gold, bitch. Getting these dudes is impossible. Look at this. Anyway.
One enemy detected.
Oh my god, Jinpei got fucking hung up on something. And he's not here now. Great, thanks, Junpei. He's not getting any XP for this. But yes. There is a way of getting a shitload of money in the game that I don't know if it was ever patched out for Royal. But similarly to the weather thing, or it's actually, there's a bunch of side quests you can do to take on more minor villains and mementos. There are very specific ones in the game that are weak to the confusion status ailment, and when an enemy is confused, they will randomly drop money, and it's dependent on how strong they are. Normally, bosses can't be confused, which is why they're like typically a really, really high level because they're bosses. But those particular side quest bosses, which I don't remember the specifics for the one, but you can confuse that dude, and he will drop like $100,000, like every few turns, and you can just sit there and get infinite money, like game-breaking amounts of money. By just waiting. You just keep confusing him. Get a persona with the ability to confuse and the ability to have, like, ailment boost, and you just keep your team alive, and you just keep sitting there raking in the cash. I still don't know if they ever actually patched that, but that full hog broke the game because you're then walking around from that point on with a max heal for the entirety of the party in items and consumables, and with some of the best personas in the game, just because, shit's broken. So that's actually something that they haven't really talked about yet, and it's not something that... I guess it's... I don't want to spoil why they use the Invoker. Just to let you know, they don't have to use the Invoker, which is the gun to the forehead thing, but it's like the main MacGuffin in this game to summon your personas. You need your Invoker, which is the gun to the head, or a gun to a certain part of the body, because it's a very small thing that's neat. Every party member you get in the game will actually use their Invoker in a different way. We got hands. Boss time.
It must be guarding this area. It's strong, so be careful.
So, like, I'm gonna cast magic, watch how all of them do their animations when they use their respective personas. Or, I guess, invokers. Side of the head, after doing a fancy-ass flip.
Check this out.
He does, like, a full, like, clench stance, also to the side of the head. No, they literally all use them differently. Like, they have, like, a different casting method. And she does it to the center of the forehead between the eyes.
Beat it.
They have a large variety of fucking elemental coverage, so I need to be careful about them being able to knock us down. It's actually something that's noticeable. Both Junpei and Yukari have a harder time using their invokers, which is why Junpei does that full body tense, and Yukari takes a second to look at the gun. And the place where she's shooting herself is actually the highest chance of surviving a bullet wound to the head is through the front of the skull between the head plate. It gives her the highest chance of survival if anything went wrong. Whereas your main character just doesn't give a shit, and he just does it.
You struck the enemy's weak point.
They're weak. Which is the reason why we were given the role of leader at the beginning, because we're the only person who can confidently summon their persona consistently. Because you're putting a gun to your head. A lot of people would have, like, that minor apprehension, at least at first, you know? Like, even if you know what it is, it would take that second to get past that, like, mental... Like, are we sure about this?
Be careful.
But,
You're severely injured.
Yeah. It's also why Yukari couldn't use her persona in the opening of the game, because she was nervous.
Look out!
And she was afraid.
Hang in there.
Because death is a heavy theme of this game. And obviously I don't want to spoil everything, so I'm not going to go into the specifics for a lot of it, but...
The enemy is vulnerable. Keep going.
Rip my main character's max HP by 30, because bash 3 times.
You attacked the enemy's weak point. Here's our chance for an all-out attack. Let me at him.
I've been waiting for this. Also, another small thing, Junpei was knocked down and was not involved in that all-out attack because of it, meaning our all-out attack did less damage.
Here.
Hey, Junpei actually fucking dodged for once. Good on, and never mind.
This isn't good. Your health.
Don't worry, I'm having fun being nearly dead at all times. That's great. I actually didn't know if that was a mechanic in the future games. Quite annoying. I should have actually healed fucking main character Kun over here. Hopefully this will kill. Thank you.
One more. You struck the enemy's weak point.
Look at me actually using consumable items in these games. Goddamn. Please don't use Magaru. Thank you. That works. Thank you for not using Magaru, Big Hand Man. I appreciate it. Please stop dying, Junpei. Dude, the Persona 3, like, it's the one thing that I've gone back and forth on. Which Persona game has my favorite OST? And at the end of the day, I really can't decide. Like, they're all just too good. I cannot actually decide which one is the best. They're all good. I win. Fuck you, hands.
Couldn't finish it up.
Ow. Please don't. Thank God. If he had just hit the main character twice, we would have had a game over. We nearly died. Despite it all, we still nearly died. Good lord. She's level 8 and she needs to go to level 16 to learn her next ability. Welcome to Persona 3, asshole. You're sitting with Garu and Dia for a while. At least he's getting a Kaja skill instead of... what, like Post-Moody, I think it was? Like, it's okay, but... This game does have some of my favorite songs in the game. And in, like, any Persona game. And, of course, I have a soft spot for it because... Golly gee, I'm a dirty-ass cheater and am super... biased because I played this, or I beat this one first, so clearly it's the best. Fight me. I probably need to stream Persona 3 now that or Persona 4 eventually. I should probably do Golden so I can judge all the changes Golden did, because I've still never played Golden. Persona 4 was my least favorite of the three, like, but it's like saying, aw damn, this game's only like a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10, but... Persona 4 is still fucking fantastic. Experience you gain when you win battle, we shared amongst the battle with fewer members who have their experience, which you gain, however the risk is higher. Yeah, fuck you. That's bullshit, and everyone is gonna get training. Big bug.
One enemy detected.
Hit him a bunch. Alright, fine then.
Help me! Here's our chance for an all-out attack! Ready, Adam!
This is a Tartarus episode. No one's here for this.
One enemy remains.
Ow.
Take the enemy down.
If I had to say, just universally, games that a lot of people think you have to play before the end of your life. Like, off the top of my head, like, Metal Gear Solid 3, Persona 4, Earthbound, there's some that are more specific. I don't remember, like, a lot of people would probably say Undertale nowadays, which I can at least see. I got a new sword, and he has increased critical hit rate, and I got a new persona! Who learned Sukuka? Oh shit, that's a Kaja skill, I need that. Son of a bitch. Now I gotta train her and Orpheus, because I want Tarunda and Sukukaja, you fuck.
Two distressed enemies.
Hey, do you guys like the Trance Twins right now? They're having a good time right now. It's actually one of the things I liked about Persona 3 and 4 more than 5. For just a minor thing. The fact that the enemies had unique models, with the exception of bosses that weren't just also your personas. That was a thing Persona 1 and 2 also did, where the enemies were unique models, which is always just a nice touch.
Whoa, nice! Who's the man?
I don't know, you have to let a game simmer for a while for it to be seen as like an all-time classic, you know? When a game is new, everyone's always got that initial hype about it. When you look back on it in like a year's time or whatnot, and that's when you still feel that, that's how you know you got a fucking great game. Like, I like I like Mother 3 more than Earthbound, but I know a lot of people would not like that as much. So that's why I probably wouldn't put that as like one of the greatest of all times. But that's in like a general scale and not on a personal tier list. Which is why it's not really possible to rate those kind of games.
I can do it.
Plus, I mean, who's the arbiter of what's a classic, you know? Because I've had a few games that I was absolutely fucking loving in the moment, that when I thought back on them, like, I guess it was only okay. I've actually had a few games that I didn't like in the moment, and then when I went to ruminate on it, I liked them less. Ocarina of Time would be considered a classic, yes. Like, even though its reputation has soured a little bit in the current day and age, a lot of people would still say it's pretty damn good. When back in the day it was seen as like the best fucking game of all time. Now, please, just hit him. I think a lot of people say Majora's Mask is better nowadays, but Ocarina of Time is still like that nigh omniscient tier of classic for a lot of people. And that's respectable. It was the first 3D Legend of Zelda game, and well, fucking they pretty goddamn well did a good job. I'm not one of the people who says Ocarina of Time was the best fucking game either, or it was the absolute dog shit, scum of the earth, worst thing I've ever played, and it killed my fucking children. But I liked it. It was okay. It wasn't great, but it was pretty damn good. I would say that's a good game. That's pretty good. Majora's Mask was great, though. Fuck you. Was it time to shit on? Is it time to shit on Breath of the Wild again?
Three enemies detected. They appear distressed.
Now, if I want to talk about like Legend of Zelda games, low-key, the Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Season games on the GBA, if you played both of them back to back, god damn, Those are one of those games that you play in the moment, you thought, yeah, they're pretty cool. And now that I look back on, I'm like, son of a bitch. Those games were fucking fantastic. Oracle games, baby. Don't accept any alternatives. Actually, you know what? To bring it back around, because I did actually just think of something. We want to talk about the fact that the Persona games are perceived as too easy. There's a dude I watched on YouTube who has done now a challenge for Persona 2, 3, and 4 of can you beat their respective games using only the first Persona of the game, and I know he said he's working on Persona 5. And the fact that all of them were super fucking easy was a bit of a statement.
Last one.
That was a close one.
I would not go to that man. His name's Gnarly. I wouldn't go to his channel unless you're ready to go fucking deep into that goddamn rabbit hole of, hey, I want every Persona game spoiled for me. And the Megami Tensei games, because son of a bitch, he was also there too.
Take the enemy down.
And who doesn't love dungeon crawling? Hell yeah! I actually distinctly remember the first Tartarus visit of this game is particularly egregious, because if you want to do this game optimally, because money is so fucking hard to come by early on in the game.
Enemy detected. Strike first.
Give me a sec, I'm scratching my head. But I do remember this particular section being egregious because you have so little money in this game. You need to grind up to like 30 or 40,000 yen before leaving the dungeon the first time, because you need to invest so much money in the early game, and money becomes less and less value as you start getting further on in the game. You get more and more money, and the amount of money you need to spend pretty much remains consistent through the entire game. It will go up for new equipment, but 9 out of 10 times you'll actually have enough money to do whatever the fuck it is you need to be doing. But unfortunately, the first time you go to the Tartarus, if you're trying to get every social link maxed, you gotta do some grinding. We only have 1,500 yen and we've beaten 2 different bosses. You're gonna need like 30,000 more yen before leaving this place, pretty much. You get pretty fucking jacked by doing it, meaning you never really run into any problems, but golly gee, it takes a while to get that much money. Yeah, that definitely beat into my skull just how important money is in this game, at least early game. And that's why I always focus on the card rewards that are money.
That was a close one.
There's actually another dude I watch. I think his name, I forget what his name is, but he's been doing really fucking good for himself. He's been doing playthroughs of the old Megami Tensei games, and he does really long, like hour to 2 hour long reviews of the really old Megami Tensei games. Like, we're talking the old shit, like the first Megami Tensei game, which was based off of a fucking book, which was like a top-down, almost like Zombies Ate My Neighbors style shooter game. And yeah, this entire franchise was based off of a fucking book. He has really good content. He's done a bunch of the really cool ones. Like, he's done Megami Tensei 1, 2, If, Soul Hackers, Devil Summoner. He's done the good shit. Yeah, this whole franchise is based off of a book. It's pretty goddamn cool. Which is actually, like, the main shtick of these games is never even talked about in Persona, which is such a cool concept. Because in all the other games, you're summoning demons. Now, Forz, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a pop quiz. In folklore and, like, ancient times, how do you summon a demons? In, like, mythology or anything like that? Like, what would you do to summon a demon? Not even the specifics, just what is it that you're doing to summon a demon in any of the stories that are, like, old shit? And I get this is a really kind of a loose-ended question, and I will answer it, don't worry. Just kind of think on that for a sec.
One enemy remains.
Alright, you're taking too long. A lot of the time in the olden days and in all the satanic shit, you perform a ritual. You summon, you sacrifice a goat, you carve some like blood bullshit on the ground, you put the shit on the ground, you invert the cross, all that kind of shit. And then you like recite a chant from an evil book. What that is steps in a process that, like, you are inputting data and it's exporting the desired result of a demon. You took too long. I wanted to answer it. It's a ritual. And the entire basis of a lot of the Megami Tensei games, which is the original process of the book, is some dude who was really, really fucking good with computers said, well, demon summoning shit is literally an input and an output. So what if you automate it? What if you literally coded a computer to do the same steps digitally to summon a demon, and you made it like an exe file, and the motherfucker actually went out and did it, and it worked. And that is how every single like Megami Tensei game, like at least half of them have, where there's known as comps or computers with an app that is a demon summoning program on it. Which is the coolest and yet also dumbest shit in existence. Because, like, the first book that started it all, he only summoned one demon, which was Loki, that killed a bunch of people, and he needed to stop it. It was a wild fucking ride, baby. And then, of course, the one that took that to the most logical extreme was Devil Survivor, which is another game I'm gonna stream, because the concept of having an app-based computer that can summon fucking demons is super, super cool, and that game pushes it to its logical extreme extent. Because that is the point of that game, is the fact that I've talked about it a few times, but Devil Survivor is a game where you're like locked into, oh, there's another fucking gold dude, can't get him. Bye-bye. Great. Where you're locked in a location, you gotta solve the shit. Well, one of the things that happen in that game is people start getting comps that have the demon summoning app on it. You know, if normal people had the ability to summon demons into the physical world that obeyed your commands and were superhumanly strong, people would immediately start abusing it and start doing dumb shit like stealing or murder. Instantly. That happens a lot in that game. Because random people start picking that shit up, they start forming gangs, and bad things start happening.
Here's a chance. Let's get him. Get back here, you son of a...
You don't hear about that in the Personas, do you? No, you don't, fucker. That's why a bunch of these games have like a weird technology kind of bent to them. Like the whole point of these games is meant to be that blend of technology and more magic kind of shit. Meant to be like a fusion of the two, which is a really interesting concept that a bunch of things have tried to tackle as a narrative hook, and fucking A, it gets me every time. but it's a good time. Like this game, it's been very, very briefly mentioned in this game, but whenever the Dark Hour happens, where we are right now, all technology stops working. All of it. So while the Dark Hour is going on, technology can't keep a chugging away because it turns it all off. Oh, what's that in the top left? I wonder what that's all about. Not only because is that like a big plot thing where like technology won't work, meaning you have to use more rudimentary things like swords and bows, so they can't just use shit like a gun, but it's also why technology won't like desync in the real time zones for like normal people who don't see the Dark Hour. But they also tether it back around to the main theme, like Mitsuru eventually had originally said that like fucking motorcycle looking thing she has in the lobby is a device designed to operate underneath the Dark Hour's restrictions that lets her talk to us. That's why we have this like radio comm shit. Also, here's this guy. Here's the boss.
It seems you've attracted the Guardian's attention. Its arcana is the chariot.
Yeah, I think I would call that a chariot, technically. Oh, the fact that his legs like actually work, like the knees actually bend. You can see when he moves. Like you can see they extend out. Like all of those on that wheel are functioning legs that they actually do walk. That's so fucking weird. Thank you, great. Thank you, weird chariot man, for existing. Here's a Tarunda, don't spend it all in one place. Now you do less damage. Ow. Thank you, chariot man. Not a good start. Also the fact that I didn't actually heal, we're entering this fight a little bit dinged up. That was a bad turn one, as nothing we... Okay, Yukari is useless in this fight. Good to know. Now she needs to sit here guarding and doing nothing else.
That one just won't die.
Takuba is dizzy.
Great. So that's how we're starting today off with. Alright. Let's see if I can hit him with slash attacks. Nope. Yeah, that's a loss, I feel.
You cannot move after you've been shocked.
Great. Welcome to Persona, where you get to see, hey, I wonder what this boss's main mechanic is. Oh, I'm dead. Or in a situation where recovering from this fight would require more resources than I am pretty much willing to give right now. As we've now learned, start the fight by having Yukari defend and never stop. Now let's see if we can run it back by having only Junpei ever actually attack people. Junpei spams Agi. Our main dude Minato, he spams the debuffs, and Yukari gets to sit here defending because I cannot actually cover for her type disadvantage. At least I have Tarunda. I don't think Rakunda is too useful to us right now. Yeah, it's fine. We do enough damage through it all. Oh, fuck! If I have Orpheus now, I'm weak to it!
Right?
Great! Thank you! Now I can't keep Orpheus equipped. Okay. I guess we're not using Tarunda either. Oh, okay.
Recovery.
Great. Bye-bye, Orpheus. Bye-bye. I guess we're not lowering his attack anymore. Maybe we are using Rakunda. Now Minato can't actually hit him. Ow.
Good, your health.
Oh, this fight's going fucking peachy. The fact that I'm doing like moderately okay for a first attempt is impressive. Here comes the fucking beatdown.
That one just won't die.
Be careful. Iori is severely
Great,
injured.
I get to rely on Junpei's magic stat to do damage.
Sweet.
And I just, you know, I think I want to just say fuck it, because we need to start this fight better. Just auto attack, there we go. We'll just start the fight over.
Take the enemy down.
We've learned now. We are now smarter.
In danger.
I feel the fight will go faster if I restart it. Death is not a hunter, unbeknownst to its prey. You know, I don't think I've ever actually let the intro play out. I'm still probably not going to, because you guys get to see all that shit raw as the game goes along. But the intro song is so good, though. God damn it. I don't know what to do. Yes, yes, yes. Shut the fuck up, me too. Here we go!
It seems you've attracted the Guardian's attention.
We'll at least try Wind for right now until I need to swap off. I want to see what he's weak to. It's not Wind. Great. And before I can even have her block, we're getting Mazio'd, baby! Hell yeah!
Check this out.
Thank God for him actually having a magic attack that actually does damage. I have a Boo-Foo. I can at least try that. Can you be weak to ice, please? No. Oh, okay. Oh, he has Tarukaja. Oh, good. Great. Thank you. Honestly enough, that's actually less of a big deal. I just need to heal Junpei and we'll be fine. I have not even fused once. I don't think we have the compendium unlocked, so I'm not going to be fusing for a while. Ow.
Check this out. That one just won't die. Persona!
Thanks.
You're welcome.
He's in
Ow.
danger. Be careful. Iori
Check
is
this out.
severely injured.
Damn, I couldn't finish it off. Persona!
This is literally the mash the A button fight. Because this game actually has a very small, like, convenience of life thing, where if you ever actually start casting a healing spell, it will automatically default target the person who has the lowest HP compared to their max. So as long as you mash the A button, you always apply your heals pretty damn efficiently. They're not always the most efficient thing in the world, but we're at Mash A, the simulator, right now.
That one just won't die.
Hopefully, our main character won't run out of MP by the end of this.
Check this out.
Our main character, I think, at least resists electric, or he doesn't take very much damage from it. And because Yukari is blocking, she also takes minimal damage, so Mazio is actually a pretty damn good option right now. He must resist it because he's only taking 16.
That one just won't die.
God, just imagine this on a harder difficulty. See what I mean?
Check this out. That one just won't die. Persona! Sweet!
Man, RPG fights must look so exciting for the uninformed. For the people on the outside looking in, look at this fight. Dude, we got to see him use Assault Drive for once. Yo, hype. New attack time. Alright. He's dying. We're getting him, boys. Don't you worry.
Check this out. Damn, couldn't finish it off. Sweet!
I think I can actually get a Raccoonda off. 4, 8, 12. So I could get 3 heals. This is consuming one of my heals to do quite a bit more damage. I can start using medicine now, though, if it comes to it. Oh god, Junpei, please.
Can't move. Cover him.
Thank you.
Check this out.
Taking more damage. Do not... Actually, I think I'll just block for this turn, because we can buy a turn without needing to heal. We can actually buy 2 turns without needing to heal. Damn, that's efficient. Oh, didn't even need it. I win, I guess. Balm of life. And just like that, Junpei got way better now that he has Rakukaja. Junpei is now pretty damn good. It's like, unlike the other Persona games, where typically you only really get the one party member who is physical based, we actually get a few of them in this game that actually are physical based, but Junpei is like the main guy. Even though he's fire, he has fire element, I think you get another one of those, or at the very least, like, Orpheus and your main character are naturally fire elemental, even though that technically doesn't matter. But Junpei is the one character to learn all 3 of the physical damage types in, like, abundance. Whereas other physical inclined party members and whatnot typically only learn 1 of the damage types, maybe 2, because their basic attacks may be different, but it'll take him a while, though. Like, Junpei does become absolutely fantastic, but that's, like, later on. Like, right now, he just deals slash damage on all of them. Assault Drive, hopefully, should be strike damage, I would think. But it might still just be slash damage, I don't know.
One enemy detected. Strike first.
Just won't die.
One enemy remains.
I just hit the, fuck. Oh, whatever, I would like to heal anyway. Yeah, get that sword, that plus crit chance, hell yeah, baby!
Here's our chance. Let's get him. Get back here, you son of a...
That was easy.
Nice. Yeah, I don't want to trade Pixie. Fuck, I need to re-equip Angel, damn it. I forgot to swap over to Angel. I got the DSGO card though, so that's kind of nice. No, I need Angel train, shit. I need to learn Sukukaja. It's Sukukaja, it's so good. It's worse than the Unda skills because it only affects one of the party. whereas typically you'll fight bosses that are just one dude, but it's still nice depending on what I need. It gives me options. Because buffs, and they had so hard nerf buffs from the Mega 10 games. Persona's buff system is still like the meta, the buff debuff system, as is all in all Mega 10 games. But again, for the uninformed, in the Mega 10 games, buffs are so genuinely ludicrous because if you buff a stat, like let's say physical attack, we use Tarukaja, which Junpei just learned. You buff your attack stat. You now have 25% more of that stat. Defense means you take 25% less damage, roughly. And Tsukukaja is accuracy and evasion. And the buffs slash debuffs, because debuffs do the inverse, they lower it by 25%. Meaning, if you throw on a buff and throw on a debuff, that is a 50% swing in raw stats. Which means that is way more than grinding would normally get you. Getting a 50% increase, roughly, in your stats would need you to, like, double your level, almost. That's why buffs and debuffs are just so important in these games. But in Mega 10, especially in Nocturne, which is, like, the main Mac Daddy, buffs and debuffs never go away unless you cleanse them. And they can stack up to 4 different times. Meaning, you could throw on a defense buff for 25%, and another defense buff for 50%, and another, and then another for 100% increased defense, and then lower the enemy's attack by 100%, having their damage and doubling your defense. Holy shit, the value you get out of buffs. The value you get out of buffs and debuffs in these games is still way more efficient than grinding would ever get you. But in a lot of the Mega 10 games, you can seriously beat a boss minimum level. There are challenge playthroughs of Nocturne called minimum XP, where you never actually fight any fight that isn't required to beat the game, and you can still beat the game in Nocturne on the hardest difficulty, because buffs are so fucking valuable in those games. They had to nerf them like most of the ways in these games, in the Persona games, and they're still the meta. Oops. And that's why almost every boss in Nocturne can attack multiple times, and one of his turns will be to either cleanse debuffs or cleanse buffs. You're useless still. Unfortunately, I do still want to get Angel to have Tsukukaja. I need 92 more XP. Also, I got some old documents. Here, let's see if I can... I can't, like, actually read them. Okay. But, we finished, by the way. That big spinning wheel leg dude you saw me fight for us before you left, he was the boss of the chapter. Now, if we ever actually go up to the top floor, there is actually more to Tartarus, which I didn't actually talk about in the moment. There is more to Tartarus, we just can't get up there. We got to the top floor, there was this weird standing pedestal stab-looking thing that was generating a barrier blocking off the staircase higher up. There was another one to teleport back to the spawn access points, and a treasure chest with some mysterious old documents in them that I can't read. So I guess we'll worry about that later. We are going to finish by leveling up the Angel, who needs like 90 XP. We just got 7, so this won't take too long. And once we get that, I think we're gonna call it, because I like to keep Tartarus in its own episodes, similar to what I do in, what's it called? Fire Emblem 4, because there's some tedious sections, like the arena, this is the arena for Fire Emblem 4. A lot of people wouldn't want to watch this content, even though I felt like I went on some good tangents and talked about a bunch of lore and neat mechanics in these games. A lot of people wouldn't like to see just 3+ hours of dungeon crawling, and that's it. This is effectively a podcast. So, this was the Tartarus episode. We're getting a little bit more loot. We fought all the bosses. And now we're gonna go for the rest of the month never entering Tartarus again. Because that's how this game actually goes, as I talked about before. Unlike the other Persona games, Tartarus is effectively every palace or main dungeon in the game. You have to choose to go into them. You can opt to not go into Tartarus for an entire in-game month before the plot begins to advance and there's like another like story boss, which we still don't really know the specifics other than we need to kick the shit out of Shadow, so I won't go into the details. But you don't ever have to do Tartarus. But because you never have to do Tartarus, a lot of Tartarus is kind of samey and is designed to be kind of cordoned off and blocked off into its own little chunk and section. Oh, by the way, here it is. I did not mean to actually come back up here. Here's your big fucking shiny shit, which is where you showed up to for us. And now we gotta go back around. We gotta do a little loop-de-loop. Oops. But yeah. Like, you could, like, literally this playthrough is... No, shit, that's wrong. This playthrough is effectively gonna have every single Tartarus section entirely skippable, just on YouTube. So if people wanted to, they could see, oh, this episode starts with the word Tartarus. Oh, you can skip that one. That way people won't miss any of the good content. I'm trying to be somewhat considerate for people who... I don't sense anything, but this doesn't seem right. That typically means this is one of the cursed floors with some kind of a gimmick. There's a few floors in this game that can... Because all the floors are randomly generated. This floor seemingly has a shitload of treasure I'm looking at. It's a really small floor with a shitload of loot and, like, no enemies. But if you stay here for, like... more than like 40 seconds, the Reaper will just spawn.
I feel a strong
Yep, there he is. Found him. Bye-bye. Okay, leave. We got some loot. Bye. Now we're gonna loop back around because we need to fight enemies and not fight the Reaper. That's what I like about this game. The Reaper is actually an ever-present threat, reminding you that Tartarus is supposed to be a very, very dangerous location. You're not just gallivanting here for the hell of it. In Persona 4, I don't think you can actually even fight the Reaper in the first playthrough. I think you can fight him in the first playthrough in Persona 5. I don't remember having ever fought him. I don't remember where the fuck he is. I think I've seen footage of him being fought, but I don't know where he is. And in Persona 4, I think you have to be in New Game Plus to even see him, which is just way less cool of a mechanic. Like, look at this. You could see that card on the far right has smoke, evil fart gas floating out of it, and there's a skull. You know what will happen if I pick that, and the answer is the fucking Reaper's gonna show up and kick me right in the taint hole. You need to not fuck up these minigames, and you need to not dick around too often. Death is always looming just overhead. Guess what, numbnuts? It's the main theme of the game. They've integrated that shit straight into gameplay. We got that narrative and that gameplay loop syncing up so nice.
Take the enemy down.
Give me your money. Thank you for the 820 yen. Please come back here. Please come back here. Thank you. Don't you love this part where the enemies start running away from you because they should?
Don't get careless.
Kill this guy because he knows Mazio and I don't want to actually risk a party wipe.
Defeat. 3 enemies remain.
Also, despite the fact that enemy ran away, none of these dudes are actually distressed, meaning that's a bunch of bullshit on the overworld.
Take the enemy down. One more.
I can't wait for, like, the next in-game month, because it's very clearly been said Akihiko's gonna be helping out, but he's injured for right now. So once he's not injured, we'll actually get our 4th party member, and that's pretty fucking nice. Because the reason we had so much difficulty with that one boss we just fought is 'cause one of our party members needed to heal, one of them needed to defend because we can't cover their type command, but they're like, oh my god, fucking Yukari got left behind again.
Who's the man?
But one of our party members had to defend because we couldn't cover her type matchup. One of our party members had to heal, and so we had to rely on goddamn Junpei and his magic stat to kill the boss. Thank you for the Garu, we're done now. Okay, good. That actually only took like 7 minutes. That was no time at all. But we're gonna fight this guy too, because he's ready. But once we get that 4th party member, and hopefully we start getting gear that'll make it so I can actually manage my fucking type matchups better, hopefully we should be better off. Give me more money. Give me the final degree of cash. So now that we're past all of it, and I mean, we haven't sold our shit yet, like, because we got a lot of weapons and whatnot, just on-hand scratch, we only have 19,000 yen. And we need around 30 to 40,000 to properly begin the next month going for 100%. Fuck, dude, that took a while to get. It was tedious as shit, and I had to put a save, like a manual hard save down here. Progressed in the game until we got back to the shop, sold all my shit, saw that I didn't have enough money, loaded the save, grinded back in Tartarus in the past more, and then had to sell my stuff again later when I had more of it. But anyway, that's a Tartarus episode, and I think I've got everything I wanted from my personas for our first Tartarus visit. We got a Garu skill card. We've gotten Sukukaja, which increases our hit and evasion for one ally. We've got Rakunda, which lowers an enemy's defense, and Pulimpa because fucking sure, I guess. We also have Trifuri, but that doesn't matter. No Post Moody, that's irrelevant. I'd kind of like Bufu, but who cares? He's done, and he has decreases a foe's attack power, which is really nice. Makes enemies do less damage. I think that's it. Hama is an insta-kill, but it has very low chance and does light damage. That's useful for specific fights, but insta-kill moves are only good when you get super, super late game and you can stack the chance to a ludicrous extent. Daisojo and Alice. Oh no, you didn't hear that. We're done now. We're done now, finally. Thank you for watching this Tartarus segment episode, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. I hope you've enjoyed, and peace.